Good day. Good day. Welcome back in to another episode of Beyond the Finish Line. I'm Bradley Hinton, and it is quarterfinals time. I'm going to do a little predicting after I watch a little of the tapes put out by, whether it was the bowl or the school or the and then make some predictions that are probably going to be wrong. So take that for what it's worth. If you're made it here, do me a favor, give me a like, subscribe, follow. I appreciate you listening, watching, tuning in from wherever you are. Just a normal guy who likes sports like you. And we're back. Welcome back in. Another episode, another week of Beyond the Finish Line. We're headed into the quarterfinals of the college football playoffs, and we've got some really good games coming up this weekend. Starting with the Cotton Bowl tomorrow, or when this comes out, tonight. That one's gonna be good. I want to take a peek at their hype videos that their social media team put out, and have a little bit of a reaction to, hey, what's on the way? So jumping up into it, straight in with Ohio State.
Keep fighting. Keep pushing. Keep going. Trust the guy next to you. The story for this team.
All right. First off, Ryan Day is a great recruiter. Yeah, Ohio State is it's a blue blood through and through. The fact that there's any fire Ryan Day chance at any time is crazy. As you see, another one from down here in Roswell, Georgia, DJ Jacobs committed to Ohio State, Blessed Trinity High School down here in Georgia. Kid is stout. His dad played at Georgia. Now, parents didn't look too thrilled about decision, okay? A lot of times parents will, they'll pull out the hat. Ooh. There wasn't none of that. Pops looked pissed, but, he's a dog. Now, if young Jacobs wants to go create his own legacy, hey, by all means. I don't think it's his last commit, though. I'm not saying that he is going to pick Georgia. But at the end of the day, Miami was apparently up there 9 minutes before he said, "Coming to you, Coach Day." Called him after. So that's pretty big. Cannot hate on Ryan Day for recruiting or coaching. Dude's a good coach, but you hear it already.
For 60 minutes, as hard as we can go. Who controls how hard we play? We do. That's it. Fight on three. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's us against everybody else. That's it. And that's the mentality we all have to have. On the field, pain.
Ohio State against the world. They're going for back-to-back.
Touchdown! Tatum! You win yours versus me and mine all day long, man.
Trenches.
60 minutes, 4 quarters.
Trenches. I think we We, I say as in me, SEC country down here. I guess you really kind of forget about Julian Sayan's legs. I don't know how much he used them in the Indiana game. Let's see if he opens that back up against Miami tomorrow. Kid's accuracy is out of this world.
Woo. Woo. So Ohio versus the world right here now. Us against everybody. What else do you want? Like, what more do you want than this right here? Let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan Day. Absolutely. Just on top of it. And as far as Miami goes, all right. So Miami drops their hype video after this. So I'm going to push that in here.
Great moments are born from great opportunities. Seize this opportunity. Every single chance you get, one play at a time, with everything that you got, in your soul, in your heart, you put the team on your back.
Oh my goodness! And that is absolutely true. Looking for an increase.
I guess the question is, how much of an impact is the defensive line for Miami about to beat up on Julian Sayan? Or vice versa? How much is that defensive line of Ohio State going to get up in Carson Beck?
Wingstop family. Say your name in the car stop. Switching lane to lane like Walmart. Sipping Bordeaux, what Bordeaux? It's a life.
Cristobal, hand the ball to Fletch.
Big wheel. He's got it. Rich touchdown.
CJ Daniels, anytime touchdown.
Go into the end zone for a touchdown. It's one. Intercepted. Big Gerald, the freshman, picks it off. Miami's going to win this game.
Woo! 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 I tell you what I am excited for. Malachi Toney and some Caleb Downs action. He moves all over the... I mean, we got chess pieces on both sides that can move anywhere. That's going to be... it's going to be... That's probably my favorite matchup, player to player. Kind of excited to see how Matt Patricia and Ohio State prepare for him. I'm assuming, they're looking at Carson Beck. If we can force some turnovers, I imagine, and get him in that role, Ohio State may carry it on to the next round. I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be close. I do like what Cristobal's got building down there. Now, I don't think it's enough. Ohio State wins 21-17. Looking for a Jeremiah Smith 2-touchdown day and a C.J. Daniels anytime touchdown. Let's go down to the Orange Bowl. Okay. Yeah, we'll go there. First off, Oregon doesn't really have and they don't have one out as of me recording this. This is kind of their hype post, if you will. Jersey combo suite is interesting because I do believe Texas Tech is calling for a blackout, if I'm not wrong. And so those helmets may have been a great time to flash, one of your yellow and green, or maybe the green, like Dan Lanning says. The grass is damn green in Eugene, and might have been a great time to flash one of those green helmets if they're calling for that. But hey, what do I know? And it's Oregon. Always will have a uniform matchup for us. No doubt about it. They're going to have that uniform matchup for us. And it's always going to be sweet. But you got the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Look, their linebacker core, awesome. Great. Yeah, there's their blackout post. I mean, just might have been a cool part to flash that green, but again, what do I know? But they kind of on a business trip too. I think this picture, my brother-in-law sent me this. Look, this picture alone might win them the game. I think their fans should have already created NIL collection should have that on a t-shirt with the red. I mean, what are we? Yeah, this picture alone makes me lean in Texas Tech. But can these athletes, and I say athletes because they are damn good athletes. Look at Joey. Give it to him, Joey. His story might be one of my favorites. I think he is every bit of it.
Texas Tech, Oregon, New Year's Day. It's the first college football game that you will watch in the year of our Lord 2026. It's a noon kickoff in the Orange Bowl. This game right here, it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Hey,
the Orange Bowl may even be the game of this entire playoff. For Texas Tech, I think this is their moment where they can take respect. And when you want to turn down all that noise, you go beat a team in Oregon that's stocked with elite personnel.
Yo. What a... See, I love this. I love the social media teams getting their hype videos out, and I'm assuming I'm going to listen. Carry on.
Respect is yours.
Yeah. They got to be wondering, why are we not respected yet? You want us to go beat Oregon to be respected? Why are we not respected? Joey McGuire's got the word respected everywhere. Got to. Yeah. Yeah. this game is going to be so damn good. Yeah. Jeez. Boy. I was on this one. I think, man, this game I've flipped on multiple times because the Texas Tech, look, the Red Raiders are the Red Raiders. And they're good. My man.
Everything you got is about one thing, the win, and it's all about the team. It's about us.
Man.
You're going to see how much your brother cares about you, by the way.
Virgil, I'm excited to see him if he's healthy. Hopefully he is. He's had some time. Rest up. I'm excited to see him against the Oregon athletes on defense, being the fastest guy on the field at all times. I'm pretty pumped to see that matchup. I don't think they're coming over the middle. Do not think they're coming over the middle. That had to be a point of emphasis. Get Sadiq matched up, and that's going to be Sadiq versus, I will say, probably Ben Roberts, Rodriguez, whoever is, on that side that he lines up. Those are going to be great matchups. Sadiq is a great story, even better athlete. See, Oregon, without your hype video, well, they're making me lean that way. Are you taking them lightly? Is Oregon taking Texas Tech lightly? Are they about to get shocked? Big 12 champs with a lot of talent. Defensive line wise, Hunter, my goodness, electric. Double teamed a lot. I'm excited to see that linebacker duo. The question, my question for the Orange Bowl. Can Texas Tech, can they play enough zone? Because they play a lot of zone. Can they play enough man-to-man and match up with Oregon well enough for it to make sense? Or is Dante Moore going to be able to pick apart the zone? That's the biggest question I have. I know that you can talk like the D-line, the wide receiver wise. I don't know if Evan Stewart is playing. I probably should know that. We may not even know as a whole. But if he does, you've got him and Decore. If Moore is healthy, Stewart's healthy, Sadiq's healthy, you've got the three-headed monster in the backfield. Can they match up man-to-man well enough? And those, Ben Roberts, Jacob Rodriguez, awesome. probably to me, and I'm a homer, but the best linebacker duo in the country. I'm a C.J. Allen, Raylan Wilson. But I think that Jacob Rodriguez, Ben Roberts they got a mustache gang. I mean, at the end of the day, and when you watch the film of Texas Tech, they swarm the ball. Number 13 and number 10 are almost at every single tackle, whatever you want to call it. You see them come into frame late, and I don't care if it's 20, 40, 30, 70, 100. If it's 100 yards, that number 10 he's pulling up to the pile. They're just everywhere. They're good. I think between here is very good on them. I think Jacob Rodriguez has made himself a lot of money in the NFL by the season he's had this year. And shout out to him. Look, he's earned every bit of it. Texas Tech is a very good team, and I think they're here to stay. I think, Big 12, I think it runs through Lubbock for the foreseeable future. Obviously, BYU was there, but there was obviously a gap. And Texas Tech's not going backwards. And so you can expect the Red Raiders to stay Big 12 champions, being in the playoff talk year after year for the, as I said, foreseeable future. They're getting there. They're on the way. But I've been saying it for a year now, 2 years now, that Dan Lanning's going to win national championship within 5 years. I think Oregon's going to edge them out. I think it's going to be 35-27. I think a touchdown late probably is a dagger. 35-27. Give me a Sadiq anytime touchdown and a Caleb Douglas anytime touchdown. Flashing out to the West Coast, baby. Look, it's you know who.
Hey man, we back at the Rose Bowl.
Alabama doesn't really have, as I said, at this moment, a hype tape out. But, dang, hold up. Wait a minute. Those are the biggest Uno cards I've ever seen in my life. How are you supposed to hide that you... Actually, I don't know. What's the rule? You tell... I don't remember... If you're down to your last card in Uno, and I don't even know what the books say, how you're supposed to be played, I think this is how I played growing up. It's been a while now. I play with my kids. If you get Uno... You gotta shout Uno, right? Like you gotta say, no, what is it? Oh. Duh, you shout Uno. If you have Uno, and you lay your card down, and I hit you with the Uno before you say your Uno, are you supposed to draw a card? What is that? Isn't that I might be fried off, but I think it is, and you have to draw a card. Regardless, those are huge Uno cards. Boys are loose. Look at them. Hey, Alabama and Indiana, and this is new territory for the Hoosiers. I don't think it's territory that they.
For us, it's not really 3 weeks of being off. Get better at what you do right now.
Place he kills. I think that's
You
really
can
the biggest
totally
thing for us, just continue to get after it.
Could totally tell when these coaches that come from the Nick Saban tree, like the same mindset, and it's all different styles, like Kirby and Cristobal and Kurt Signetti, but you could tell that the Saban tree brings the juice, and that's why he's the
Just
greatest of all
inches
time.
improvement.
It's all about today. Great these days. Let's pull a great week together. Not doing great. And it's starting today, man. Let's fly around.
All right, Fernando Mendoza, Mr. Heisman, Fernando Mendoza, probably the smartest, smartest guy in football. Intelligent, huge brain. Look, he might be the first ever to win a Super Bowl and be elected to run this country. His speech for his Heisman was out of this world. The first ever Super Bowl QB winner, MVP, elected president. Fast, physical, relentless. Don't get complacent. Kurt Signetti. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a very physical game. Shout out and dang, Stephen Daly, a kid who tore his Achilles jumping to celebrate with fans. Like, it doesn't. That's the toughest way I feel like and I wouldn't know, but to feel as the athlete, we just won the Big Ten against Ohio State, who everyone has been saying is the better team, best team in the country all season. Like I have. And you go to sell it. You just did all that. You conquered that. You literally, you go celebrate with the fans, the ones that traveled to Indianapolis. Boom, slapping hands. Boom, bam, gets carted off the field during the celebration. Like, what? So, how much of, and just as Signetti and the others would say, next man up, I'm sure that is the conversation in the room there. But how much of an impact does that matter? Now, you are playing Alabama, okay? In Alabama, and now this is going to be a messy game too. The Roses are going to be drenched from what we're seeing weather-wise. Now, you got to run the ball. Is Alabama going to be able to run the ball? Look, Alabama against Oklahoma, 23 carries, 1 touchdown, 28 yards. The Zabian Brown interception changed everything. And then the freshman Brooks with his 2 tuds, his first one to really get the juices going for Alabama. But other than that, if it's messy and wet, Can they run the ball? Are they going to be able to throw the ball? Why don't we get Ryan Williams the ball on some sweeps or something? He's very elusive. Why is he not running any sweeps? And can we keep Proctor on the line? Look, I get it. He's an athlete, an extremely talented athlete. You are struggling to run the rock. Struggling. SEC championship, first round in Norman. Running the ball is going to be crucial. And I think that's why it's going to be tough for Alabama to beat this Indiana team. I do think that they are down 10. I think that Alabama is. I think they score a garbage time touchdown to lose the game 24-21. Indiana moves on. Kurt Cignetti keeps the ball moving. Going over to the sugar. Sugar, how you get so? The thing is they don't have a. I mean, they're. I guess this is the post for what we're getting. The Pete Golding era is going, and this one will probably make a lot of you mad. Surely. Ole Miss fans, if you are as happy as you say you are with Pete Golding, then the hell with Lane. Why are we still so salty with everything that goes on, whether it is a post about LSU, him? I get it, it's your hated rival. The rivalry got absolutely louder. And that game in Oxford next season is going to be one for the ages. He thought the Tennessee welcoming party was bad. I do believe the one in Oxford, the Grove's going to give it to him pretty good. The Grove going to give it to him. Golf balls, Lane Kiffin may have to coach that game in a helmet. Pumped for it, honestly. Imagine, as Ole Miss fans, now, I don't think it's going to go this way. I'm sorry, but imagine Pete Golding beats Lane in Oxford next year to keep Ole Miss in the playoff hunt or something. Like, imagine the boom. Be pretty loud. I don't think Lane regrets his decision if he does, regardless. But there's a chance. There's always a chance, right? They don't have much. They don't have much. As I'm prepping for baby number 3 coming too soon, very soon. Blessed. You get to I don't know. Maybe this one's my football player. My oldest, now, two things. Like, my oldest, he had a heart condition, required some things. He's good. He loves baseball, legit loves baseball. And so he hadn't really wanted to play any other sports, but he couldn't. Contact is kind of out. Even if they said he was clear, it's a risk and probably not doing that with him. So I got a boy coming in less than a week. And he maybe he's the ball player. Maybe. I don't know. I guess this is Georgia. I mean, Georgia usually has one. So I'm kind of shocked that and it may just be too soon. All of these schools may have them out towards the end of the week. Indiana. Yeah. I mean, you have the Cotton Bowl, Miami and Ohio State, so that makes a lot of sense why they would have theirs out. Before I go to that, I just want to say I'd love to hear from you, whether that's on sports, life, anything. Give me a call on the Finish Line hotline, 404-590-3224. And to be frank about it, look, I ain't going to sugarcoat it. Finish Line, as a recovered addict, I'll always say, like, the finish line is kind of where everybody tells you to go. Like, in my world, it's sobriety, but there's so many other life circumstances that people point at as the finish line. Could be retirement. Literally, everybody's like, I'm retiring here, age, number, whatever it is. But that's the finish line. What's beyond the finish line? For me in my life, go get sober. Sobriety, that's your people point towards the finish line. And I think that's where a lot of us that face, and it's such a stigma in this country, but a lot of that face the addiction fall short because there's no plan after. And this is there are some rehabs that I've spoken to, and HIPAA violations kind of halt anything from that being talked about, if you will. But it's the after plans. Are they setting somebody up for after? And a couple that I have talked to, I mean, they do. They have the after. They have outpatient, but after they can help get you going. For somebody who may not have anything, maybe for me, blessed. My wife is the greatest in the world. Stayed through an absolute turmoil of life, and she's a real one. She is a real one. But some don't get that, and so giving them a place to start when maybe they have nothing cannot mean a lot. May not mean a lot to a lot of people. To me, that's something that drives me, because I come from a whole lifelong addiction, drugs, everything around me was always I learned some things. Probably had to grow up too fast. It's different. I realized it was different when I got older. Realized the childhood that I had was not. And so, thankful to be here. Life is good. God is good. And, yeah, nothing can really put me down, take me down, get in my way, because I've been where you don't want to go. And I've completely flipped that. Yeah, so Merry Christmas from me to you. If you need help, if you love, if there's an issue with, if you feel helpless, I'll just say it. And obviously there's all kind of addictions and stuff of that long. But if you hear this, you come across this somehow, some way, God puts this in your path, don't hesitate to reach out. And I mean, no one's going to judge you when you really want the change. And if they do, it is what it is. People are always going to judge you and have negative thoughts and negative things to say. It's about you changing you. Let's go beyond the finish line and really create a life, a real life. But if you're having problems, again, you could call the finish line hotline, 404-590-3224. I don't care. I'll talk. I won't air it. I won't air it. Leave me a message. I won't say who. If you want it to be anonymous, talk about it anonymous, I will. But if you don't want to call that, and I'm not asking you to for that, don't be afraid to call the addiction hotline, 844-289-0879. This country, it's a problem, and I do believe that you can change. We do recover. I'm a walking testimony of that. And, yeah. So, back to the scheduled programming. Georgia's my team. As if you've heard me talk, that's my squad. If there's any team that quote unquote scares me, it's probably this Ole Miss team because of the uncertainty. You've seen them beat Tulane belt to ass, but how much of that was just the adrenaline? They're obviously good. They were with Georgia, right, in the first matchup. And the rematch is what scares me because it's been proven it's so hard to score or to beat the same team twice in a season. It happened to Oregon last year. They beat Ohio State. Ohio State then beat them in the Rose Bowl convincingly. And so I'm like, that's the only thing that worries me.
Georgia, Ole Miss, round 2.
Georgia takes on Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl.
The Sugar Bowl.
The Sugar Bowl matchup is set.
The Dogs move on to the playoff. Pete Golding is going to lead this.
And what is Pete Golding? I know that it says the squad, the Golding era. And, okay, pause. If you're an Ole Miss fan and you're for the Golding era, I have no dog in the fight. I think the schedule sucks, all that good stuff. Lane left. Could have let him coach. I hear you. But if you really wanted the national championship run, and I'm not saying Pete Golding can't do it. I'm taking your actions at Ole Miss fans of how angry you are. You say you're pumped for the Golding era, and in the same sentence, you turn around and it's like, which I get that part, but it's a repetitive saltiness. I think some of these Ole Miss fans have Lane's notifications still on so that they can go straight to the punch. Could be wrong, but it's on every post. Sorry, carry on.
This team on New Year's Day can forget about what happened the first time these two teams played.
That's, yes.
Because a lot has changed since that game.
This is the opportunity to compete for a championship based on what you've done up to this point and you have earned.
I don't think people understand this train that's coming in Georgia.
The Dogs deliver the dagger.
As a Georgia fan, I have the toughest time, I guess, when I look at and I hear that the train is coming, right? It's like the train is coming. And I see it. The SEC championship was just dominant belt to ass. And I guess I'm like, oh, because I don't want.
It will be an entertaining game that goes down to the wire.
Trinidad Chandler has to be.
I don't know. I try to be, I guess, realistic. But there's so many people picking Georgia to win it all. And if they play like they did against Alabama in the SEC championship, without a doubt, they have it. They can win it all, and they've started clicking right here at the right time. Now, for your 4 bye teams, Georgia, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech. How does the bye affect? It's turned out the 5 seed's kind of right where you want to be, somewhere in there, because of the tune-up. Sorry, G5. It is what it is. You saw it. Everybody sees it. The coaches are going to bigger schools because they know they cannot. So why would you not want your own tournament? Nobody's going to hang a banner to say, hey, we made it. You might, but don't. So I think I sugarcoat Georgia a little bit. I think Ole Miss. This is the problem. I think Ole Miss. I think they're going to score a lot of points. I think Trinidad in the first quarter. I think they put up 14 points quick. But something about Kirby Smart's halftime adjustments. Being in the big games. A lot of pressure on Golding. Georgia wins 30-17. And lets Ole Miss carry on with making Lane Kiffin's life hell. Outside of this game, hey, Lane Kiffin going to Oxford next season, that's going to be worse than Tennessee. There's no doubt about it that that's going to be worse than Tennessee. Hey, good luck. It's going to be Lane Kiffin's going to have to coach in Oxford wearing a helmet.
Absolutely stellar.
Gunnar Stockton has been balling.
People don't talk about Gunnar enough. He just wins. He's a winner. The throw
is going to be wildly entertaining
in the fourth quarter against Tennessee.
If that's what we get in the Sugar Bowl, I can't wait.
Yeah. Me either. That one's going to be... So, 4 projections. Rose Bowl. Indiana 24, Alabama 21. You can look for a Cooper touchdown and a Bernard anytime touchdown. And I am not promoting betting because I have no affiliation to any of the sports books, betting sites, fantasy pick'em sites, none. But if I was, Cooper, Bernard, anytime touchdown. Sugar Bowl, Georgia 30, Ole Miss 17. I think Lawson Lucky gets in the paint. And I think Deuce Alexander is one of the beneficiaries of a touchdown in the first quarter. Oregon 35, Texas Tech 27 in the Capital One Orange Bowl. On that one, I say Sadiq, anytime touchdown. And give me Caleb Douglas, anytime touchdown. And then in the Cotton Bowl, which will be played tonight. Man, what a matchup. Malachi Toney, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Smith, South Florida, Julian Sayin, Carson Beck. We've got some activity. Arlington's going to be, man, Ryan Day, play calling. Ohio State 21, Miami 17. Jeremiah Smith has a 2-touchdown day. Look for CJ Daniels of Miami to get in the paint because they're going to be so occupied, making sure Malachi Toney does not. And that's going to be it. Look, my top 4 players. This is beyond the finish lines. Top 4 players of round 1. Number 4. Yes, they played Tulane. The juices were flying. Everything was rolling. Number 4, Trinidad. He went 23, 29, 282, 1 touchdown, 6 carries, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He's going to have to use his legs. He's going to have to use his legs if he's going to beat Georgia. He had back in the game, he did have 6 carries. No, he had 9 carries, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and they lost. He's going to have to, man, tongue tying myself, carry the ball, use his legs. Georgia had a plus 20 play differential on offense. Long plays, a lot of time, touchdowns. And then Gunner sealing the deal. Look for heavy rains. Messy game out there in Pasadena. And another thing, all right? Let me air this one out. If Ole Miss loses, how many If Ole Miss loses, how many players from Ole Miss have a one-way ticket to Baton Rouge? Let me know in the comments if you think it will or won't. There's obviously some. You can't say every player hates him. They're all jointly headed towards one goal, but if that goal falls apart, I think 6.5 is the number. You think it's over or under 6.5 players leave Ole Miss for LSU if and when Ole Miss is knocked out of the playoffs? Everybody, I appreciate you being here listening to these projections, predictions, ramblings, reactions. If you hate it, appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a comment on it. If you like it, appreciate it. Thank you for being here. And follow, subscribe. It is December the 29th. And I have a third child coming in less than a week, January 7th. So call somebody, tell them you love them. This is the time of year where it is. I'm blessed where I come from, and sobriety is. Sobriety is a big one. I am a recovered addict. Never ashamed to talk about it, to be it, because it is what it is. Come from a long line of it. My childhood, everything be about it. I'm sure that some of my stories will be shared over time here because there's a lot. And I think that this is a good time to, hey, if you're struggling, if life's too hard, too heavy, if you found a spot that you don't like, you're in, look, there's multiple things you could do here. To be anonymous, I don't care. Call the Finish Line hotline, 404-590-3224. Leave a message, say you want anonymous, and I will respond to you on an episode. Look, I am not ashamed to talk about it. I think that it should be out there. If you don't want to do that, and I am not asking you for you to call me on that, I'm saying if you call, I will listen and I will talk because I've been there. But the National Addiction Hotline, 844-289-0879. Okay? Don't think there's no gone too far gone. I'm telling you from a personal experience, there's no gone too far gone. But you got to want it. You have to want it. If you don't want it, you're not going to recover. And so that's where I stand. Again, if you want to call the Finish Line hotline, 404-590-3224. I would be glad to respond, to talk. But other than that, it's going to be a happy new year. 2026 is, I have a vision on 2026. And if you find your way here, follow, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Beyond the finish line, I see the sun rise past the broken nights, through the battles and the lies. This episode brought to you by the Finish Line Hotline. Give me a call, 404-590-3224. Talking about ball, talking about all. Talk to you soon.